Hey, howdy, hey, folks. Hope you're doing well. We are going to be doing a couple of games, followed by more projects. Maybe I'll get back to a little bit more of the coding. I know the coding is not super exciting, but we're getting close to where it does start getting exciting. But there's one thing that I was struggling with last night. I want to see if I can get it done tonight. We'll see. Couldn't test the audio first. Okay, seems to be operational. And now we dive on in. Hey there, buddy. Where is an item? Oh, come on. Okay. Well, I have been spending some more time outside, going out and about in the local community, and it is good to see people out and about during the holidays. But I do find it a little peculiar that right now there's not a whole lot of Christmas decorating compared to other years. Some areas have gotten even more so, but there's some areas that I've noticed very specifically they've stopped decorating as much. I wonder why. I mean, I mentioned some theories as to why the other day, but I do notice that there's also a lot more references to other holidays as well. A little bit more than I remember. So it is interesting to see the way our culture is shifting. It's dangerous to be in forts. They did a lot of construction just to be double teamed or third partied. Oh, there's somebody over there. Oh, one hit. Enough to probably scare him. That person has no shield, so that's good for me. Gotta close the distance, though. I should have grabbed the plane that was behind me. Too late now. You know, I was, when I was at college, we had a small patch of woods nearby, and I went out there with some of the students. We were just going on a hike into the local area. I didn't do a whole lot of group activities like that, and they thought, hey, let's go out here and maybe get a photo out in the woods as a kind of memory for the whole college experience. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And there were some falls in the area that everyone had talked about, and none of us had really spent time to go and see, even though they were nearby. Well, we did end up going over there. Well, that guy looks like Oogie Boogie. We went over to it, and it was honestly a bit dangerous. Small falls, but very rocky, and we had people that were not really paying much attention to the terrain. But halfway through the hike, one of the guys reached over and said, "Hey, look, onions." And he found some wild onions and proceeded to eat them. Now, if you're familiar with the American wilderness, not just Alaskan, but the American wilderness, you know we have a couple of very dangerous things in our country. Oh, sure, we don't have like the super poisonous ivy of the Congo or something like that. Okay, I'm making up a plant. All right, follow me here. We don't have these super elaborate toxic plants that are going to kill you if you just barely touch them. We have something different. We have plants that camouflage themselves. That guy's acting a little bit like a bot. Plants that camouflage themselves. So, for example, you can find an ivy and have to deal with poison ivy. And you thought, hey, wait a minute, I was surrounded by normal ivy. Where'd this poison ivy come from? And now suddenly you are having to deal with a rash. Same thing with a mushroom. You're walking along and you find a mushroom. It doesn't mean that it is safe. It usually means that it's dangerous. Could have hit him if I had only fired the rifle quicker. How toxic are we talking, says Rico. Greetings, Rico. How you doing? Oh, we're talking all sorts of toxic. So let's say, for example, let's back up. Return to lobby. Let's say, for example, you're going down the road and you see a plant off to the side. You will find in most states the chance of coming across something that looks like food but is not is actually really high. You see a mushroom, there's a good chance it's actually toxic. You see a berry, there's a very real chance it could be poisonous. You see an onion, there's a very high chance that, okay, not an incredible chance, but there is a high chance that you could choose the wrong one and get yourself poisoned. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know that onions were poisonous. Wild onions could be poisonous, but there are some people who have encountered that. And what's more, you also have to introduce the idea of that our modern diet has made us more susceptible to some of the toxins in the wild. Well, turns out that people from other parts of the world don't have this problem. Well, not in the same way. The guy that ate the onions, he was from South America. He was used to just grabbing food off the tree, eating it then and there. See, I think it was Brazil that he was from. Basically, if it looked like food, it was food. Here in America, if it looks like food, better double check and triple check because it might be poison. That's the thing that I learned traveling across the country. I would hear from trail guides or whatnot that would look over and say, hey, see those red berries? Yeah, don't eat them. They'll kill you. But if you see red berries in some other parts of the world, they think, oh, that's just food. They don't think twice about it. It's not guaranteed in this country. That's the problem of our wilderness. A lot of our threats are camouflaged. By the way, Rico, what have you been up to? It has been bitterly cold up here in Alaska. The last couple of days, we've been in the negatives. I came in from outside today and I had frost all across my face. If I had a bigger beard, bigger mustache as well, I would have been completely coated. It was very cold tonight. And moist. That's the other thing. It was wet cold. The other day was a dry cold, and even though it was colder the other day, I didn't have nearly as much frost building up. And I'm still terrible with my accuracy. I just moved into a home a couple of months ago. Ooh, been busy restoring it. It's a lot of work. I'm also a sub-teacher now. It's good to hear. Well done. That is quite the accomplishment, sir. Hopefully you find some good success with that. And a strong sense of purpose and meaning. Fortnite logic. Power lines that go absolutely nowhere. There was a couple of people that were hiking in, I believe it was Michigan. They were in the news a while back, and they were they were very well-known mushroom hunters in the area. And they found some mushrooms, they picked them and brought them back. And these are experts, by the way. They found the mushrooms, they brought them back for their friends, and they had a wonderful meal of mushroom. And then suddenly they started feeling ill. And they felt the illness coming on, and they started to panic because they realized they messed up with their picking of the mushrooms. They picked a mushroom that looked very, very, very similar to one that they would get all the time. Ended up killing them all. They ended up contacting local authorities as they're, starting to pass, and they're like, okay, well, this is the story. And I remember hearing about that story and realizing just how easy it is to make a mistake. Ooh, that was close. Thank you for that. That being said, a lot of people will hear stories like that about the wilderness, and then they'll decide that they never want to be in the wilderness. I don't blame them, but it's not good to be paranoid about the wilderness. It's good to be careful. The woods are not a playground. Wilderness is not a playground. And so to treat it like one is to set yourself up for problems. The best example I can really give is saying that, hey, you're going to be going to Yellowstone, for example, and you see bison. Appreciate the bison from a distance, but don't go up and pet the bison on the nose. That's a good way to get yourself in a body bag. So most of the threats can be dealt with. You don't have to fear it, but you have to have a healthy respect for it. Otherwise, you can end up in serious trouble. And we don't want that. Stop chuckling there, Yoda. Yeah, chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. But he's doing a lot of that. Interesting. I never knew these items had a sound. There's a ringing sound when you come across it. That's a first. Or the first time I've actually noticed it. Hello? You can't wall me out. Okay, he can, but I can just jump over it. You know, isn't it interesting that the average attempt to block someone from doing something is going to inevitably fail? You build a wall, people will jump that wall. They will dig under it. They'll walk around it. The Chinese learned that the hard way when they built the Great Wall of China, and it inevitably proved to be completely worthless. The Huns just walked around. Huns, the Mongols. Merry Christmas, says Bastion. Yeah, and the Mongols. There we go. Rico's right on top of it. How you doing, Bastion? Merry Christmas to you, too. Hello? Only one shot out of all that. There we go. Come at me. Oof. Miss. Come on out where I can see you. Oh, wait a minute. There's a lot of those boom boxes going on. Join in a bit. Alrighty. Oh, hello, sir. Dang. Oof. Turn to the lobby and go check those gifts that they have going on. Well, you know, I've been hearing. So I've kind of been listening to Wizard of Oz audio on the second book. Ooh, dandy. Do you ever catch yourself now humming along to "We're Off to See the Wizard"? I never read that book. It's quite the famous narrative. Ooh, a snowman. Yeah, but do that. But anyway, what was I addressing here? Oh, golly, I completely spaced. That doesn't happen too often. Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to go over. So you've probably been hearing recently that computers are about to get really, really expensive. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. Now, supposedly the RAM is about ready to explode in price. But here's the thing that makes me suspicious. Supposedly, everyone knows the price of RAM is going to jump. But the price isn't jumping right now. You'd think if a company had like the inside scoop that things are about to get really expensive, that they would probably be trying to, I don't know, raise the price before telling people. You just make it so the scalpers get it. And isn't it interesting that the scalpers are buying it all up? And the price of the RAM isn't really climbing. Not the way that it should. I think it's fake. I think it's a trick to try and get people to invest into RAM and drive up the price so some people can make out like bandits. It seems like a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm not buying into it. Other people can get into the hype, but I think we've gone through the cycle enough to where it just doesn't happen. Where it doesn't really, the damage that it's supposed to inflict doesn't actually happen. Remember when toilet paper was disappearing en masse? It didn't happen up here in Alaska, but yet people were still buying it like there was no tomorrow. Or when video cards became expensive. They're like, oh, video cards are so expensive, they'll never get cheaper again. Oh, it's incredible. And you know what? I'm seeing video cards for cheaper than before the big AI hype. Something is off. I think the moral of the story, though, is don't give in to hype. Hype is going to backfire on the people trying to get in on it. They're going to be the ones left holding the bag. And that troubles me, because people only have so much money. You don't want to try and trick people into spending their money when they shouldn't. Right now, there's a lot of very expensive things you have to afford in this life. You have to afford medical bills. You have to afford food and housing. You have to afford taxes. You have to be able to deal with things like the raising of kids. Everything is super, super expensive these days. The last thing we need is for people to come along and say, here's another item that's going to explode in price, making you even poorer. If there really is a RAM shortage, why is a company quitting, getting out of the business? I think I heard it like this, that there's 3 major companies and one of them is like closing down. Well, if it's really that lucrative of a business, I don't think it would disappear so quickly. That's my theory. Grenades away. Greetings there, Bastion. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Right now, it's about half an hour after midnight, so it's technically Christmas now.
Merry Christmas! I mean, technically, isn't it Christmas Eve?
I'm gonna go to Mexico later today.
Oh.
Gotta prepare food in the morning.
Ooh, very nice. Come up here, buddy. Ho ho! I'm gonna go back to the lobby and just a moment.
Yep. I saw that the DeLorean's now in the shop.
Ooh, very nice.
And
Papa Enrico says,
video that if you're
Papa Enrico says, I've never heard Bastion's voice before. Dope.
hello.
Sorry, you were saying there, Bastion?
Oh, in the normal BR, games, you can find the DeLorean, and if you, I forgot the exact speed, but once you hit the speed that they say in the movie,
88 miles per hour.
yeah, 88. I remember 88. I didn't know if it was the correct speed. You get a little cutscene where you travel in time, and when you come back, the DeLorean has a chest on top that has some weapons from Fortnite OG.
Oh, that's clever. Dang, I wish the original map would work then. It has continued to crash on me again and again, so I'm stuck playing the OG map.
Alright.
Alright, returning to the lobby. Let me double check the sound settings. Well, you're going to be having a very sunny Christmas, it sounds like. Very hot one.
Yes, it's 58 right now, so it's cold over here.
Oh my goodness, summer weather.
And all the snowbirds are here, so a lot of old people as well. We noticed that in the traffic. Either they're going slow or just a bit more reckless, the cars here.
Yeah. Hey there, Light. Light says, looks around. Anyone found a missing ducky around these parts? Uh-oh. Shh, shh. I think she found you.
Hey.
How you doing, Light? A storm is coming in our area, says Rico.
Oh, rain today. We had to work fast to put away some of the Christmas stuff that we had outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't decorate as much, so a lot of the decorations were just still outside, and we decided to put them into storage right before rain.
Oh, it's so sad. See, for us, we put up our Christmas decorations in November or sometimes October. Because once the snow comes, you really don't want to put it up. And then it's going to be stuck there until February.
Well, I guess it's the exact opposite. We don't want to do it in the sunlight. There's a peak sunlight out.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that most of the country celebrates with snow and they don't get snow on a regular basis? How ironic. That being said, last year, Florida got snow, so I guess it's not completely impossible.
I guess there was an attempt for snow, but it just melted before it hit the ground.
Might want to ready up.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize.
Hello, gentlemen, says Light, getting ready for bed early. Thought I'd stop by before finishing up my my pillow tent. Oh, so Light is making like a cushion for it, but making it out of pillows, so it's a pillow tent. Rest well, Light. Merry Christmas to you, and hope you dream of sugar plums, or whatever it is that you're supposed to dream about these days.
I think she'll just, what's it called? Marinelli's, the apple cider drink. She really likes those, so like what she's gonna dream about.
Sounds delicious. You know, it's kind of interesting. A lot of the old world sweets that they would have around Christmas, we put them in our songs a whole lot. But I honestly can't say I've had even half of the things that people would talk about in the music or the culture or the stories or whatnot. I think it's kind of sad. I wish we had more of them around so we can be able to sample them and remember what Christmases of old were like. Because who wouldn't?
Roasted chestnuts and
yes,
figgy pudding. I heard figgy is the fruit for that is kind of in danger. It's slowly being whittled away. I heard something about that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I would probably like figgy pudding, but there are some other ones that are like, no, that wouldn't be half bad.
Well, there's a mouse in the Nutcracker. That implies there's cheese in the house. I think Light's ready for that.
Let's go down to the Happy Hamlet. I like this little village over here. Very old world.
I need to put on a Christmas outfit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and
Marriage lines are goodies, says Light. All right, guys, have a good Christmas hitting the saxes, Rico. Rest well, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, you were saying?
Where I pinged underneath there is where that giant one-eyed monster skin that I use is sleeping right now.
What the heck? We have to deal with that monster on this map?
There's gonna be an event where the giant bear fights it.
Giant bear fights it. Oh. So the Russian bear comes out and fights Godzilla.
Yeah. Well, it's partially also a hamburger.
Oh, that's bad.
Right there.
Oh. Oh, no. Okay. Pick up the bastion. While they're distracted. And he's back. Nice.
I got him. It's a plunger if you want it.
Smooth. Wonderful. It's not the same as the spider glove, but good enough. Anyway, he says Light, good night, gentlemen. Hibernate well and
Good night, Light.
get fat. Wait, and get fat. Oh no, I'm trying to get on a diet here from the food goodies. I'm I'm loopy. Yes, indeed. Rest well, Light. God bless and see you next time. Okay. Tell me when the guy shows up.
I don't see anybody else.
Where'd that guy go?
Nope.
Oh, well done. Well done. Man, after taking some time off of this game, it has been hard to get back into the swing of it.
Yeah, me and Light have been playing a different game. It's a bit faster paced, but it's more against computers.
Yeah, it's the one you mentioned beforehand, right?
Yeah, Warframe. Right.
Where you got the demon mushrooms or whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now they had an expansion, so they added more content to the game. Light's taking a break, somewhat of a break from it because they just brought back a lot of stuff that you need to spend time on, just collecting the items. RNG, but it's not really FOMO. You're not really. If you miss out on the event, that just means that you either have to spend time trading so you can accumulate enough to get those items again, or just wait until they return. So it's not like Fortnite where it's gone and you never know when it's coming back.
Yeah, that's one thing about Fortnite that I really don't like with the when they have something that you want and then it disappears, and it could be a year, 2 years before it comes back.
What was it? Was it the banjo that took a long time to come back? I forget.
The banjo was one of those things that took a long time, and when it came out, it was like immediately have to get that thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, FOMO as best. Yeah.
Yep. There's a couple of things like that.
I think they dialed it back just a little bit. They're bringing back a lot of stuff, especially with the creator packs. Just streamers and influencers that play the game, just creating their own bundles of what they use.
Yeah. Made all those collectors upset about how they spent all that time grinding for the one item and or waiting for the one item to come up, and then they thought it would be a one time and done. Now everyone can get it.
Well, I'm okay with like event items coming back. Like right now, the ranked rewards, I'm not doing it this time because instead of doing quests and ranked, it's you have to rank up and rank. So you have to get to gold, platinum, elite, stuff like that. And I probably won't be able to do that, so I'm just not going for it this time. They're making it right now where Fortnite wants you to play more. Like the presents right now, if you miss out one day, it doesn't accumulate, so you can't get all the presents at the last day.
Oh, so you mean I've already missed out?
I think yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday was the last day to start doing it before you start missing out.
Oh, okay. So you have like a little bit of a cushion time.
I think it was like 3 to 4 days.
So that means I have to reinstall it onto my laptop while I am, just in case I'm like out and about. I need to log in to be able to get it.
The last gift is a frozen dummy, so it's not too. You don't have to worry about that. And plus, they had some stuff in the shop implying that they're gonna bring back the items later on.
Storm's here.
And items later. On the clock, I'm not sure.
Getting a bird's eye view. Man, the storm on this particular map moves fast.
Yeah, I think the storm on the normal map was faster for the first week or two.
Yeah, I've gotten trapped a couple of times on this map over the last couple of days. I'll think that I'm in the clear, and then I spend time having to run halfway across the map just to try and get to safety. And it's a little, I feel like it's a little frustrating at times.
Yeah, not too much mobility, but there's at least some mobility.
Yeah, at least we got the balloons.
But more than the first season of this.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
I ran into that. Yeah, don't go near there. I forgot. I should have just destroyed it.
Oh! I didn't realize those were on the map.
Yes, you can use them even in zero build.
Oh, interesting.
And then
dangerous. At least you got a fire there.
Yeah, you could just spend 200 wood to do that.
Oh, that's pretty clever. So all the wood that I never build with, I can actually build up a fire.
Yep.
I like that.
Oh yeah, but the monster is down there under this castle. That's why the castle is its back bling, because it carries it around once it's free.
Oh, okay. So that monster's going to be making a comeback.
Yep.
All right.
Some people are fighting down there.
Oh, there they are. Well, I got a sniper rifle
Yeah,
ready
snipers, you
to
could probably hit them.
start hitting them from back here. Hopefully. Oh, unless the tree gets in my way. I've been using this sniper rifle to try and take down people's forts, and it's been quite effective.
Oh yeah, the heavy sniper rifle. That's basically what it's made for. The heavier caliber just destroys builds.
I'm gonna use my balloon to get into a different position. Oh! Victory! Wow. That, very fortunate. Okay, he's still crawling around. There, he's down. Don't know where the second guy went. There he is. Oh! That was pure luck. Dang. Magnetic bullets.
Right, and right now in the normal game, there's a 15% chance or 25% chance. Right now, where instead of a circle, it's shaped in a Christmas tree.
That's clever. I like that. Oh, good. He's looking everywhere but up. Oof, that didn't go so well.
Enemy down there.
Uh-oh. That ain't good. Balloon away.
I think I took a rift. I'd probably get to safety.
Come over here and get some health before trying to escape. All right.
People behind.
Ah, if only I had the accuracy from earlier. Oh, I'm almost out of rounds for that one. Oof! Dang. Oof. He lasted a long time. One of the things I've been noticing going around going around the town up here in Alaska is there are Santa Clauses galore. Every mall, every store, it seems, has a Santa Claus. I don't know what it's like for the rest of the country, but they are everywhere.
Yeah. Especially for Salvation Army. Different
Indeed.
charities.
You know, I've not seen someone doing a Salvation Army up here in Alaska for this winter almost entirely. Actually, I can't think I've seen one of them. That's weird.
Oh, and there was Christmas caroling when I went to Samsung today.
Christmas caroling. What sort of carols?
They're kind of, they weren't the loudest. I couldn't really tell what they were singing, but they're all singing. Yeah, unfortunately, it was right in front of the entrance, where the entrance has its air conditioning on, so it's very loud.
Oh no. Up here in Alaska, we have a lot of folks that really enjoy the Tuba Christmas. Apparently, they happen all across the country, but they messed up on the advertising for this year, and so we missed it by a day. And so instead, I showed up at one of the malls, and instead of the Tuba Christmas, we actually got to hear from a high school band, and they actually played way better by comparison. And so even though I missed out on what has become kind of a cultural tradition for our area, we ended up getting to hear something even better. Have you ever seen the Nutcracker?
No, I haven't seen a performance of the Nutcracker. I think I've just only had a class on its music.
There are some presentations out there that are decent, a whole lot of really kind of mediocre ones, but there was one I got to see a couple years ago, and it was jaw-dropping. It was top-notch, like best sort of performance you could have ever seen. And they were just going on tour. I think they were from Oregon, and ever since then, they've been trying to get people to come to the Nutcracker every year since. But the quality just is not quite what they had for that one touring group. Good performance though. They definitely worth it as like a Christmas tradition, if at all possible. But man, our tickets expensive, and so it's kind of one thing you can only do every now and again. But when you don't go to concerts, kind of like myself, then I just save up for something like that, and I'm in the clear.
I think for right now, because my family my parents and my siblings were all getting older, and so don't really do that sort of stuff. But maybe one day when I have kids, I'll take them to see the performances.
Indeed. Get them nice and cultured.
Yep.
I used to not see anything like that. And then I got older, and I started thinking, why haven't I seen any of these performances? And I was pleasantly surprised. Oh, no weapons galore. That's unfortunate. Ooh, you got some heavy gear.
Yep. Well, this is better in build mode, destroying all their builds.
Yep. Feel like the Demolition Man. These with this bazooka. I used to not think that cultural performances like the Nutcracker were worthwhile. I used to mock people who would go to stuff like that. And then I started to realize, as I was getting older, that, I actually kind of understand why it's so famous, and such a big part of our culture. It's in large part because it is focusing on a combination of art, music, performance, in a way that is timeless. How many times have we heard a song on the radio that they're like, oh, this is going to be a new classic, and it never happens? The closest thing we have is All I Want for Christmas Is You, and you just wait, in a couple of years that might even disappear. But the Nutcracker keeps going for decades and decades.
Yeah, I guess that's what I've heard about. I don't remember the exact word, what it's exactly called, but just there's fewer and fewer stuff that the culture in America is like. All of us know. It's like, oh, have you seen that one show? And we've all seen it because it was basically the only thing on TV.
Yeah, a common culture.
Yeah, common culture.
All right, I'm ready to
and
head
Christmas
on down there.
Christmas is kind of one of the last few things that there is to that.
Yeah. Common shared culture. A very important thing. And yeah, we have lost so much of that. Real shame. Ooh, nice. Well done. Oh, good. The ice is working again. Hold up. Where's that gunfire? Oh, it's up there.
This whole place is under the ice.
It's such a weird thing. I feel like I need to be able to cut through the ice to get to some of these items, but not possible.
Yeah, I've heard that sometimes there'll be in the first chapter there'll be impossible to get chests that were just always be closed, but never actually be able to open. Just to tease the players.
All right, so I'm going to use the
I'm
balloon to try and
looking
get
at
an idea where these guys are.
There was a rift in the store. I'll probably do that right now. Oh, someone else rifted. I'll just use this one.
Someone's in this building. Where are these guys?
Right
Oof. Dang. Shotgun to the face. Dang, those guys were good. I've been trying to get better at Battlefield 6. And that game is such a very different sort of pacing. It takes a while to get used to it, but now I'm kind of more used to the structure to that rather than to this.
Yep. I think my main problem with Fortnite is just the internet issues that I have.
Yes, indeed. Man, the internet issues for this game has routinely been frustrating. After their most recent update, I'm still having issues that affect most of the game. I just keep thinking, how is it that with all the money that they keep raking in for the massive team of people that they have, that they still can't figure it out?
It's probably also a Discord thing. I heard that it, for whatever reason, right now it's taking up to 4 gigabytes of RAM. At the moment.
My.
So that might be one of the issues.
I know that Discord has had a couple of problems over this last year. It's really strange because for years, Discord was like getting better and better with every year. And then the last 2 years, it's taken a hit. Real shame, honestly. It's not really any great alternative yet.
Yeah, the only reason I think there'd be issues is maybe just controversies of just people using maliciously or just trying to hack the Discord servers.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thankfully, I've not had to deal with that a whole lot, but the few times where I have gotten problematic stuff from people on Discord is enough to where I can understand a lot of the frustrations that people are having with it. I had some pretty sketchy people reach out at one point, and thankfully they were like, it was easy enough to know that there was a problem. But that being said, I knew somebody who unintentionally, intentionally, but didn't quite understand the danger that was going on. And he ended up communicating with these people, and it ended up causing all sorts of problems. They were like trying to steal his account and whatnot, and it's weird how many things people can do to mess around with you in Discord. They can take your server, they can take your connections, they can take money from you, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, my friend, he used PayPal and it apparently got hacked, and so he lost $500 because of that.
That's unfortunate.
It's one unfortunate thing. One unfortunate thing I heard from the news is that I guess Gen Z or young people, they would hear stories about the older people and years before how they had to deal with scammers on the early internet or just on the phones.
Mhm.
But now it's just scammers everywhere trying to get all your information that they are falling for it because there's just so many ways that
Yeah.
scammers can find them.
And the worst scammers these days are ones that actually befriend you before they scam you. That's something that people back in the olden days wouldn't have to really worry about, but now this generation does. So
Yeah, there was
it's
I got a
frustrating.
friend request from someone I got a friend request on Discord too, from someone that I knew, but he claimed to know know that I was streaming, but didn't mention any names. They even mentioned my name, so that was the first red flag. So I ignored him.
Yeah, that stuff really starts to amplify over time. So once you have the first one, then they pass that news on to someone else, and suddenly you start getting inundated. I've had a lot of people reach out because of the streams I've done, and you can tell immediately that they've never watched a single stream. They're just, I think a lot of them are bots, but the ones that are actually
They're
people
either
sometimes
bots or they're either bots or people out of country.
Yep, very much so. The most kind of the saddest one I ever came across was actually a guy where I caught him in the middle of his scam. I played along with him and said, "Oh yeah, no, I'd love to be able to talk with you," things like that. And then I proved that he was actually a scammer and said, "Hey buddy, I know who you are. Here's the proof, and you just messed up big time." And all he could do was give me a shrugging emote, like, "Well, whatever, I messed up." And so then I said, "Okay, now that we understand each other here, I want to see why you're doing this." And over a span of about 3 weeks, I ended up hearing his backstory, and he thought that, and I don't even know if it's 100% true, but it went from me being sure that this person was lying to suddenly I was about 50% sure that at least something he was saying was the truth. And I gotta say, it was sad, this situation that he was in. But at the same time, like, even if you understand a person's situation and you can pity them for their lot of having to resort to scamming, that doesn't change the fact that you're trying to pass your pain on to someone else in order to get ahead. And he just could never understand that. And so he started trying to resort to another scam after we went through the backstory, and we got to have several discussions at that point. And then I think he probably thought that, okay, now I get the money, right? Because I helped out. I was like, no, I just want to know your backstory so I could be able to understand and pray with you. And ironically enough, he actually said, you know, I would very much appreciate that. I don't know what his lot has been like since. I didn't keep in any sort of contact because, you know, you got to be careful around a person like that. But it was something where it was a reminder to me, not necessarily, well, anything more than to remember that these are people that are in all sorts of different lots, and to not give them money for it, but to still pray for them in their sort of position, because it's some of them are truly in some pretty dire straits, and others, they just want to get rich quick and tear you apart.
Yeah, they're either being used or they're using other people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, I I find it funny that a lot of times they'll say like, "Oh, I don't have any other option." I'm like, "Have you thought about farming?" What? Do manual labor? Never. Oh, golly. The ones that really get me are the ones that they seem to have they don't care about the people that they're ruining. There's like a video that was going around earlier this fall of a woman who was answering a scam caller, and then she pretended like she was in a car accident, and the scam caller couldn't care less. They just still wanted the money.
Oh.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't watched them in a while, but I used to watch Scammer Pay back, where they would actually just find ways into the scammers' computers and find information of people they've scanned and on them.
Golly, that person builds fast.
I'd probably use that to distract them for a bit.
Oh, golly. Shoot. Yeah, I should have used that. My bad.
Yeah, it's Christmas, so people are getting gift cards and start playing more.
Yeah. I saw that League of Legends has started making a massive comeback in popularity. And I was like, wow, that game I thought was kind of out for the count for a while, and here it is. Now popular again.
It's definitely been the butt of the joke on the internet, from what I've heard.
What are some of the jokes?
Oh no, just either it's toxic or just making fun of the game because it was popular.
Yeah, man, it is indeed toxic. But you know, the game that I actually was shocked to find out was even more toxic was StarCraft. I opened that up this fall to kind of play it again because I remember it and thought how nostalgic it was. And oh my goodness, was that chat the most evil, vile sort of toxic behavior I've ever seen. I have no idea how a game that's so kind of laid back in many ways had people that were that barbaric. Like, they were saying, I don't typically get like claim somebody is racist, but oh my goodness, that chat was like the definition of what racism was. They were hateful, they were bullies, they were trying to threaten people, like physically trying to get people's mail addresses so they could be able to hunt them down. I was like, what sort of evil community is this? So then I uninstalled it.
Unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's like the joke of just the gaming community.
Oh no.
It's just, you're not a true gamer if you haven't been in Call of Duty lobbies.
Oh yeah.
Voice chat open. Yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah, but there is a certain point where it's just no longer ironic and actually terrible.
Yeah. Which part of this map do you favor?
I have not played on this map for a long time.
Yeah, not since last year. So strange that this particular map is so nostalgic for people, and I didn't get to do it until last year.
Has it been 8 years since this game has been out? So
yeah, been a long time.
Yeah, but a lot of people are adults now, so I think it is just a lot of nostalgia. But at the same time, they kind of did. Epic Games did kind of not live up to the expectation. I think one first things that people noticed was that there's the grass from the current season it was in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the normal game. And then there was just a bunch of glitches, wrong sounds, wrong textures, and people were just pointing out everything that was wrong with it. And Fortnite kept on saying they were gonna fix it, and they just never did. Or they would fix one thing, and then it'll just go back to being broken the next week.
That's so silly. Just the thank you. Just the sheer amount of kind of pessimism about anything new and thinking, oh, just because it's new, it's immediately evil.
Well, it was promised that it was going to be exactly the same way people remember it, but it wasn't.
Yeah. One of the challenges is that their game engine has changed. And so then, like, oh, well, that means they have to rebuild it from scratch. And sometimes it's like, oh, let's just use the current game assets that we have. That we don't have to worry about it.
Oh, like that. Slurp Cactus. That was in chapter 5.
Ooh, this one's got a thermal scope on it. Interesting. So I went to the store to try and find a thermal camera. And lo and behold, they do not have thermal cameras. They don't have thermal anything other than like night vision. So basically, it's a flash. Greetings, Phil. Merry Christmas to you too. How are you doing?
Merry Christmas.
Sorry, I just realized that came in. But I went to the store to try and find this, and I couldn't. And the person at the counter said, "Why do you want a thermal camera?" I said, "Well, we live in Alaska, and well, last week I heard an animal, and I could not identify it, and I don't know what to make of it. That's why I wanted to get the thermal camera." Well, unfortunately, they do not have that, so that means I am out of luck. But over the last 8 years, I have had 3 times where just outside the house, there is a sound that causes pets to freak out and sends chills down your spine, like you know something's there, but you can't identify it. And I have no idea, like the faintest clue what this thing could be. But it has been 3 times over 8 years, and I know it's in the vicinity. I just don't know. I want to see if there's a way to see it with a thermal camera. So, unfortunately, it'll be a while until I can probably get myself one.
I had a bear.
Well, all the bears are hibernating at this time of year. And that's the part that that bear. Okay.
I know, he's happy.
Yes,
a fish, and he's playing tuba, some sort of wind instrument.
It's like a wooden saxophone or something like that. That does kind of look like a German horn, which, by the way, sounds really great when you're at the Königssee. I did get to hear that when I was a kid. But anyway, so I have no idea what that creature is. I don't even know if it's all the same creature, if it's multiple different creatures, and I'm just hearing them in the night, and can't really make heads or tails if it's the same. But there is one that really did make me very nervous. And I thought, I think it's time to try and actually get one. Now, no guarantee that the camera's going to be facing in the right direction, but it will be a chance to try and solve the mystery, hopefully. Maybe I need a scope kind of like this, but I don't have a rifle, so that'd be kind of pointless. I need something that's an actual camera so I can be able to photograph it. The Golden Mage has been eliminated. Nicely done, sir.
Got it. Oh, they added ragdoll physics into the normal VR. I forgot about that.
Ragdoll physics. Oh, interesting.
So when you're down, you just either you could tumble down a hill. And your friends could just pick you up and throw you.
Nice. Ragdoll physics are hilarious. That's a good addition. See more people?
No, there's just a 50 pot in there.
Oh, yes, I definitely need that. Much appreciated, sir.
I didn't bring it this time, but they started adding pets to the game.
I did see those. There was, of course, the
Right now,
banana
there's SpongeBob.
pets as well, which is so weird looking.
The banana one was battle pass, so it's not going to be back for another year and a half.
Year and a half. That used to sound like forever. And then over the last couple of years, I'm starting to realize that's actually not a lot of time.
Yeah. Guess if you're not busy with important stuff, not too busy with important stuff, a year does go by.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely something to be said for valuing your time. And I heard someone talk about it like this recently, which, by the way, I still want to do like the movie night someday of watching the movie in time, just because it's been such an unimportant movie to me throughout the years. It just keeps getting more and more kind of relevant as I'm seeing the times change. I saw him on the thermal scope. That's one. Uh-oh. Coming for ya. Uh-oh.
Probably goes
Actually,
the wall.
yep. It's not good. Okay, let me see here. How do I get this thing? Ow, golly. Couldn't get my stupid
You
building.
can't go into zero build for this? Or is it still going to crash?
It's just the normal map. Is there a zero build for OG?
Yes.
Okay, well that should be the one to go with then. I completely spaced on that there was a zero build for this one. How do we change that? Let's try zero build.
It should be in the Buy Epic tab.
Buy Epic tab here. Oh, yes. OG. Then there's Battle Royale. That's not it. Zero build. Dang.
I selected it.
Oh, you did. Perfect. I'm blind as a bat. Oh, golly. Huh. Wow. That's another thing as I'm getting older, which I know I'm not truly old here, but I'm middle-aged. And I'm finding like the ability to pick something out is disappearing. I used to be like the type of guy that could look at a mountain range and quickly pick out, oh, there's some sheep over there, or there's some hikers over there. Now I have to intensely look and observe, and then it will start to become visible. Man, I do not like that. I like being able to just instantly pick out stuff in a moment.
Well, my mother went on about how I'm an old man, apparently, because she found the white hair. One of my hairs was white.
Welcome to the old club.
I think it was just blonde hair for whatever reason in my almost black.
My first white hair came when I was at college. And by the time I left, I had about 5 white hairs. I chalk it up to stress, because then they disappeared. And then they came back a couple years later. Now I got a couple of white hairs that are just persistent. And they are incredibly wiry, and so they stand out all the more.
Yeah.
Well, don't be ashamed of white hair when it does come. It will come and people will see it as wisdom. And you'll also get mocked, but people will still see it as wisdom.
We already mock our father for it, so I understand.
No, don't mock him. Oh, because then that means I'll be mocked for mine. Where would you like to land here?
I guess just back to the race car field.
I like the race car area.
Racetracks.
It's a good one. Too bad there's no race cars there.
I think they should. The quad crashers are back. I feel like they should be around in that area.
Any fun Christmas activities that you've gotten to do so far or will be doing?
We've just been doing shopping. Stuff that we need. Sewer pipes broke, so I was digging in the sewage. So I need new shoes. I needed new shoes. I got new shoes now.
Oh no.
It's all fixed now. So, yeah.
Hey, that's positive.
Had to go out digging on my birthday.
Took out the bot.
Kind of annoyed at this one Walmart employee. My sister gave me a gift card for my birthday a week ago. I just happened to Walmart for that time. I finally got there. I asked the employee about my age, if he was able to scan the card and see if there was any balance on it. He told me there wasn't. There was no balance, so I thought for a minute I thought my sister got me nothing. This is a joke.
Oh no.
But So I went to the Walmart website and use that use the code on it to see the balance on the Walmart website, and it showed $50 on it. So because of him, I had to pay out of pocket for what I got.
Oh no. It is weird. I've noticed a decrease in the quality at stores. I was at Best Buy yesterday and today because I'm in the process of trying to find some computer parts. And I asked the person at the counter if they had stuff in stock, and I got the most bland, ho-hum, I don't really know, check the website sort of response I could have gotten. I thought, what happened? Best Buy used to be like the place where you could go and ask these questions and people were passionate about their work. Not anymore, apparently. It happened 2 days at 2 different stores.
Well, if it's younger people, then that kind of makes sense. They're not as passionate about work.
Still, like, I remember when I was working, like, I would have jumped at that because it would have been an opportunity to kind of show off, to maybe get a raise or something like that. And here they just couldn't be bothered. Nicely done.
Yeah, it's probably because they just don't get raises as easily. You have to work for this amount of time, do these amount of hours, and then maybe you can get a couple cents more. Yeah,
I remember when I was working at Target, it was a big deal to get an increase of 50 cents an hour, and I thought, wow, this is great. And then what I didn't realize is that inflation basically nullified it and made it so that I was actually making less by the time that had happened. So I'm like, great. I just went from maybe getting a couple dozen dollars more a month to now losing an extra couple dozen. Oh, that was disheartening. But I learned that retail is not a good place to try and learn how to make a normal living. You got to be living out of a shoebox to be able to really make it work. Which, by the way, I kind of was at the time. Thankfully, I had family in the area that was helping out. But when I moved out of college and I was trying to figure out how to... behind you, Bastion. There we go. Nicely done.
Yeah, I guess another part is that just there are probably other ways to earn money online. Yeah. They probably look down on jobs because of that.
Yeah.
Some reasons. Which reminds me, I've never done a blood donation. I always see ads like, oh, first donation is like $100.
Be very, very careful about that.
Or up to $100. Yeah.
I remember getting pressure from people all throughout my life, like, do blood donations. You're saving a life. And then I started finding out what they were using blood donations for, and I thought, you guys are getting surpluses. They've actually been doing an investigation. They've tried to get the EU to ban blood donations for that are paid and make it only volunteer, because they were finding out that they were making massive fortunes, and they have not yet been effective in stopping it. But I will never give blood because of the things I've been learning about it. And what's more, they also get a chance to sequence your DNA, which may not seem like much right now, but that could be a big problem in the future.
Yeah, I don't want one day, just if I ever use an AI service, that they'll be like, oh, you're this guy with this blood type.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it gets even worse than that. It's something called, I've mentioned it before, it's genetic warfare that you have to really look out for. Oof. Dang, taken out by the Candy Cane Queen. But yeah, the genetic warfare is something I did not know existed until like 5 years ago when I first heard about it. And since then, I've become much more aware, and blood donations unfortunately gives them all the requirements so that if a bad actor decides that they want to do it, they have that means. That being said, I also am very careful. I would hate to have to receive a blood donation one day, because they found out that a lot of people that were doing the blood donations actually have drugs in their system, and depending on the city you're in, they're not screening for that as thoroughly. So you could actually get yourself in some pretty serious health problems. The medical world.
All the doctors that graduated because of ChatGPT.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, huge problem. Tell you what, eating healthy has never been so important, because you don't want to end up in a hospital. It may be the last thing you ever do. And I'm not joking about that for anybody that's watching out there. No, it is very serious. I cannot talk about it on stream, but you know how to find it.
Eating healthy and just knowing more about how to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
In case there are problems, you understand what types of drugs you're taking. Because sometimes they just don't. The drugs just don't do anything.
Yeah, it's strange. The people that I graduated with, there's so many of them have been were taking some sort of drug, and I refused to take any of it. And I'm not saying that necessarily that it was because of this act that this happened, but I don't have to take any drugs. But the people I know who were taking drugs at college are still taking them today, and they were suffering from them. And it just...
I take Advil and ibuprofen at times. Not as recently, but even with that, liver damage is a strong possibility.
Yeah. I was required to take allergy medicine for me to even breathe for most of my childhood. And now in my adult life, after weaning off of it, I don't need it anymore. Unless it's like super, super severe allergies. But even so, I can still get through it. But they were trying to put me on even stronger medication when I was a kid. I had a doctor mention like, hey, we need to treat this like full-blown asthma. Do you need like stronger medication? I'm like, nope. Nope, we're going to stick with the basic stuff. Mostly because I hate doctors. I didn't want to have to deal with doctors, period. And so I was a little, this may be a little bit of paranoia that led me down that path, but I don't have to worry about taking pills. And I'm so glad that that's the case. And I don't know if refusing to take all the pills was like part of it, but I do find it kind of interesting. The more pills you take, seems like that list keeps growing. While we are surrounded by teams. Yeah, take a campfire with me.
Yeah, they took a plane.
Broke someone's shield. Nicely done.
Don't know if the plane's gonna come back.
Someone's roaming around in here.
Oh, yeah, because of the ragdoll stuff, they started adding footsteps to people that are down, so that might be it. Oh, yep, there's some. Slurp if you need.
Well done. So weird to have the slurp juice and have it not give you full health and shield. They nerfed that thing quite a bit.
Just actually, I think in the original season it healed a lot less. It wasn't until like the 4th chapter when they brought it back that they made it so it gave you 100 health and shield. So it was underwhelming at first, and then it became very strong. I remember people carrying that all the time in the 4th chapter.
Yeah,
just drink it before a fight, and you'll likely survive the fight.
Yeah, that's the part that I liked about it. But at the same time, I understand why people would have hated it.
That, and I think that was at the same time when the pulse rifles were in, and you got them from the floating island.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know that they weren't that way before that.
All right, they changed reboot vents too in the VR, and you could ride them around.
You can ride these around. Oh.
If they don't have what are they called? Boots. Yeah, if they're not locked, the wheels, you can ride them around.
Oh, interesting.
And if you're playing with other people, you could just throw the other teammate into it, and it'll revive without you needing to be there to revive it.
That's a pretty neat idea.
Oh, there's planes.
Ah, yes. Have you seen anything neat in the in terms of gifts that you can get at the store? Anything that stood out to you?
No, I think they're just selling just phones, laptops, stuff like that. Wasn't really looking. Anything special that they had?
I know there's a couple of items I've seen that are kind of making a comeback. Like, I remember seeing them when I was a kid growing up, and some of them are starting to sell again. A lot of retro stuff that is for sale at the stores, like old crystal screen handheld games that you can get. Those are starting to appear again. Those used to be like everywhere when I was a kid. Beanie Babies, they're making a comeback. That
Expensive,
really
but
surprised
yeah.
me. Yeah. All right, who shot?
I was around over there.
All right, let's see. How do I do the free look? Oh, yeah, free look. Here we go. Now I can see. Oh, right. There they are.
Yeah, more like bots.
Applying the air brake. Crash. Smooth. Oh, wow. That just about destroyed the plane.
Oh, yeah.
I love how this thing can take off with, like, no runway. Whoa!
Nope.
Someone's right ahead.
Yeah, they're on the buildings. Oh, right here. Yep.
Well done. Well, that plane's basically toast. Did its
Nope.
job.
Well, there's 2 planes.
Oh, lo and behold.
They're dogfighting.
Something else I find kind of ironic is that Star Wars still sells everywhere. It is such a popular genre. If somebody had made a gamble on it back when it first came out, they would have made out like such a millionaire. They're still selling stuff from like Star Wars Episode 4, left and right, Episode 5. Well done. Oh, there's the other guy. Oof. What a terrifying glider.
Oh, Scarecrow, yeah.
Oof. Dang. This guy's hat. Oh, he had a Ghostbuster on his back.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. I heard that's one of the more rarer skins that just hasn't come back in 2,000 days, I think. A couple years.
Yeah. Man, Ghostbusters has a huge following. I never could get into it, though. I tried, and I can see the appeal, but just wasn't a fan of it.
It's just the characters, the actors, and the concept of people go around catching ghosts.
A lot of it felt just almost like nonsensical silliness. Maybe I'm biased, but I like things that have epic plots to them. And when I see just people being characters on screen, I'm like, whoop-de-doo. Anyone can be a character on screen. I said everyone can be a character on screen. There we go.
Actually, you know what? I think this will be my last game.
Yes, that works out. Oh, great. That horrible thing is back.
I gotta be festive.
Oh my goodness. Ugh. so utterly horrifying. Ugh. You know, it's kind of interesting. The one eye on that character, the Cyclops sort of concept. I heard that there might actually be a reason for how that legend probably got started. And some people theorize it might have been because of a mammoth skull, in which, if you look at it, it actually has what looks like a socket for just one eye, and it's because it was actually the opening for the trunk. And then, of course, there's a giant skull, and they're like, oh, the Cyclops is a giant creature with one eye. I can see where the legend would have come from. Now, some people think there might be another reason for why that legend exists, but that one's at least plausible to me.
Oh, but in the event they had it for ending the chapter, they did have it fighting alongside Godzilla against the boss of that chapter.
Yeah, that sounds like an epic clash of monsters.
Yeah, it was mostly Godzilla and King Kong taking the spotlight. There was too many collabs too. For me, it felt like there was too many collabs to make it feel special.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, Scooby-Doo and the gang was there. I don't know why. And then they had all the streamers in one helicopter.
That's odd.
Yeah, so they just filled it up with as many collaborations as they could.
I've noticed there's a lot of streamers right now that are trying to kind of like rekindle this game. Maybe it's not everyone, but there sure seems to be a lot of folks that are trying to like become the number one Fortnite streamer. And I don't know if like someone retired or whatnot, but sure seems to be a lot of that going around right now.
Well, I guess recently, this past year, they've been adding a lot more
Oof, that did not go well.
influencers.
Oh, great. Now my hands are in the clutches of, is at the mercy of the clutches of this monster. Running around the duck feet. Do you even have ducks in your part of the country?
Yes, there's a duck pond that we have. I just don't know what type of duck they are.
No. There's a town up here in Alaska where they hunt everything that comes within a couple of miles of the area. And so a lot of animals have started to disappear from the region. And it's not necessarily ducks that are on the list, but geese are on the list of things that disappear. Anything that's large enough to really be eaten has been hunted. And now the animals, by their own will, have stopped going to the area because it's too dangerous. So it's been kind of funny to see how overhunting has caused the animals to just avoid that town. Such a weird idea to have a jet engine on the back of one of these vehicles. By the way, folks, if you're out there in the on the internet watching this sometime, consider leaving either a like or a dislike on this video. Either way, I will accept it. It means that you are flesh and blood and you stopped by to at least see a little bit of it. I've been seeing that a lot of people have been losing their accounts recently to the YouTube's aggressive AI. Thankfully, I have not had to deal with that, but man, there seem to be a lot of people having problems with it. Thanks for the revive, and there we go. Got one of the people shooting at us. That felt like a bot. That's one. Wonderful. And there's pistols galore around here. Get rid of those things. So anyway, been seeing a lot of people that have been complaining about that. And at first I thought, oh, that's very unfortunate. Oh, people on the bridge. At first I thought it's very unfortunate. And then I started looking into some of the channels that were complaining the loudest. And I can't say that necessarily every one of those channels deserves to be reinstated. There's a lot of AI slop out there. And people are trying to argue like somehow they were like intentionally creating really high quality stuff. And it reminded me of a channel that got banned back in, I think it was 2017, called Manga Historia. And they got banned off of YouTube, and then they appealed their ban. And not only were they denied, they were given actually a threatening letter that apparently was because they were infringing on copyright. And so they went from thinking that they were in the clear, thinking that they were just being, they're using the creative, they were being using fair use. And it turns out they were actually abusing it, and they actually were going to be penalized. And so suddenly they went from all encouraged, like, hey, we're going to beat this, we know we're in the right here, to suddenly their channel's gone forever, and everything else that they had just vanished. Their merch store, their online community. And I actually found it a little interesting because it was helping me to understand some manga that was out there that I didn't have the ability or the time to go out and see myself. So I actually enjoyed it, but at the same time I understand why they had the lawsuits starting to come at them. And I can back the companies wanting to, get their money's worth. That storm is so weird looking. Dynamite.
And it's always unfortunate when people. I've seen videos about people worry about older channels that were beloved when they were years ago by people that when they were younger they would watch. Just start using AI.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
There's one that I watched was about this guy who would have about, oh, what if the gravity was 10 times stronger on Earth? But it'll be silly enough and goofy enough that it worked on YouTube.
Oh, we are surrounded. We gotta run.
Yeah. And they just started using AI like 2 or 3 years ago, and it went from being whimsical to funny to just absurd and making absolutely no sense.
That's unfortunate. Dang. I've noticed some channels that I enjoyed have just disappeared, and I was like, where are they? Well, they turned out to be AI nonsense, and so I had unsubscribed and didn't even realize it. And so, including one channel which I actually really enjoyed, it was about myths and legends. And lo and behold, it turned out that they were leaning heavy into the AI stuff, and they got rid of that beloved focus. I was like, dang it. So then I lost that fun little channel. Oh well, how the times change. By the way, how's your projects with the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff going? Are you still doing that?
Yeah. My biggest problem is just figuring out what to say, the script of it all, and I pretty much got it. Everything else is it's just learning how to work with video editing software again.
Have you seen the most recent film?
No, I have not. I'm gonna wait for it to come out on DVD. See if I could do the same thing as what we did for the first movie. I streamed it on Discord.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great. Yeah, I kind of I was in my mind. I kind of half expected you to suddenly show up in like a custom-made costume at one of the events. You just strike me as the type of person who might eventually try and do that.
I don't think there's enough fans of it. Well, fans my age that would do it. Do the same thing here. There's more casual viewers, I think.
Get a giant styrofoam Freddy headpiece.
I guess that's... Yeah.
I actually thought about trying to scare some friends at college with a giant dinosaur head, because I figured out how to do props, and I thought, hey, this would be a fun little thing to do. And then someone tried to scare folks with a Slenderman outfit, and I saw kind of the psychological damage it did to people. I thought, I think I'll pass on this one. And so I never actually went through with my plan to try and freak out some folks. But trying to come up with clever costumes can still be fun for like events like going to the movies.
I think the dinosaur one kind of doesn't work as well today because of those giant those inflatable suit ones.
Yeah. Yes.
Goofy.
Yes, indeed. Man, those are hilarious. I love watching. I love watching the nonsense of those. Someone tried to have dinosaurs up here in Alaska during a winter event, and those people were freezing something fierce, I'm certain. And so we haven't seen them since.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so
You gonna be hopping off, or are you good for another?
I'll stay. I'll study and talk. I'll just switch over to Warframe.
Sounds good. Let me double check something over here.
Yeah, I was talking with Light. She's more caught up with the new games more than me. So I'm with the video. I do want to give a disclaimer about just okay. This is more about the Scott games, Scott Cawthon's games that he's made instead of the expansion of whatever Steel Wool is doing.
Yeah, I know there's definitely a difference between them, right? Like a lore difference.
Apparently, one of the games is in the 70s, apparently, and I just did not know.
It is great how much lore they've been doing with it, but yeah, now it's gotten so big that now you're going to start having some contradictions, and you kind of have to pick and choose.
And such, so I do want to tell the story as to what it could possibly been before it changed.
Indeed.
So, first video is definitely going to be on a lighter tone. It's they'll be talking about the plushies they find in the game. Because I noticed this after I streamed the first movie, that the designs of the plushies in the second game are the exactly one-to-one to the designs of the first game animatronics, but it takes place before the first game. So that's kind of what the video is going to be talking about, just why they look the same despite being at different times.
Did you ever try out the new Five Nights at Freddy's, the one where it's the what is it?
Security breach?
No, the creature shop, that Secret of the Mimic.
Oh, yeah, I think that was the one I was talking about, where it takes place in the 70s. So, no, I have not. The newest thing I've seen was just Markiplier playing the second help on it, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different neat aspects of what Steel Wool has done, in my personal opinion, but that's because I was not one of the OG fans of Five Nights at Freddy's until that game came out. Then I thought, oh, there's actually some interesting lore to this, and so I actually enjoyed it. But there was a lot of folks that I started noticing that they couldn't stand it. I was like, oh, I actually kind of like the story, but I didn't realize that I had come in halfway through kind of what everyone else had been going through, and that there was the frustrations.
One big problem that didn't help the new game was it was filled with bugs. Almost unplayable at times.
Oh, they made for hilarious moments, though. I watched the Markiplier playthrough of that, and the moment that he's trying to go to Freddy for safety, being chased by Monty, and then Freddy just walks past him. That was absolute gold.
Well, the games were always simple. Going to that 3D environment, it definitely was a big challenge.
Mm-hmm. They've since have refined their system quite a bit, but definitely makes it still a challenge for people to really appreciate kind of the old mechanics. They tried to introduce some of those old mechanics, and 3D does not favor that very well.
I guess with the VR, it's the most effective because you are actually doing the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, and then what was it called? The Secrets of the Pizzeria, or the books that they have.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Tales from the Pizzaplex was a new stories that they had. And the last thing I heard about them was just fans trying to decide whether it's canon to the story or like similar to the Fazbear Fright books, where instead of just the actual characters, it's characters based off the main people of the Five Nights at Freddy's story.
Hmm. Yeah. There's what was the video I saw about that? About Five Nights at Freddy's recently. There's something that came out where they were like helping to break down some of the contradictions and oh god, I can't remember what that is. Anyway, one of the neat things I saw about the lore is that the movies are trying to help unify some of the story, but now that has created a whole another bit of problems, because now you're going to have people thinking of it as like a third faction in that sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know, as the movies go on, I'm pretty sure it's going to make people more and more upset, but the fans for the most part seem to really be enjoying it all the same. I think that hopefully
If they're
they'll
like the
maintain
story,
that
it is
enjoyment.
It is just taking key parts of it, and as long as they make a good story from it, it should be all right. Unless they change something drastically, I don't think there will be too much of a problem.
There's some things though that I'm like, you probably could change that and make it a little bit more sensible. Kind of like when they have the zombie kid. Like, that was such a weird addition to the story that Scott did, and it's like, I don't even know how accurate it is, but they're like, oh, this guy's walking around, he's actually dead. Like, that might want to have
he wasn't
be
a
some
kid,
corrected.
That was the older brother to the kid that got bit by Golden Freddy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, once it started going down to the more fictional aspects of it, it did get a bit hard to keep track of everything. This is the Revenant scooper thing, Revenant injector.
Are they coming out with Doc in Fortnite?
Oh, he was already in the shop.
He was in the shop. He wasn't in the battle pass.
No, just Marty McFly.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. There's Doc Brown. Oh, golly. Flux capacitor. Okay, man, there's a lot of Christmas items in the shop right now.
Yeah.
They brought it all back.
Some Harry Potter stuff.
Harry Potter.
But they don't
Plushy
have
owl.
Harry Potter or Voldemort. I think they were trying to keep it safe because, oh gosh, there's a lot of people that hate Harry Potter just because J.K. Rowling, the author, pointed out that a guy who was playing in the Olympics in the girls' team was a guy.
Oh yeah.
So,
Man, the it's amazing the amount of anger and vitriol that has come out of that.
Yeah.
I thought for certain that people would have cooled off by now. They've only gotten worse.
There's this one Discord server that tells the news of what's happening in Fortnite, whether a skin's coming out or there's just items you could get. There's this event, and when there was not leaking, but when there was rumors of there being Harry Potter and Christmas event, took a very childish approach, just like putting emojis that are rolling their eyes. They said, "Oh, one of the items is going to be a broomstick," and it was just this very poor MS Paint drawing of a broomstick. It just, for whatever reason, they just decided to act childish.
Yeah. Kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen to the franchise. Because I feel like
I heard that they're remaking the.
Yeah, I think it's falling apart, and it's not a good time for that because of like Universal just did their massive investment into the franchise, and if they start losing people, if people start getting all bent out of shape, well, then they're going to probably start losing money over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I have heard that. With the people hating it, J.K. Rowling is still changing stuff from the story. So that's definitely not going to help if the whole story is not solid and is always changing.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, well, I'm glad that they made the movies when they did, because for me, I don't have to worry about that stuff moving forward. Some people can, but I already have the one that I basically enjoy, and that's that.
That's kind of why they're remaking the story with a new series.
I'm just waiting
trying to get people back into it.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for when they finally announce that they're going to be remaking the ones that people think are untouchable classics, because they've already been doing that, but there's a couple of movies that are probably going to come out within the next decade that's going to make a lot of people very upset. And but Hollywood's crashing, so now I wonder if it's even going to happen. But I know that Disney was preparing to do Star Wars, do a complete total reboot. They had talks about that back in 2012 when they first bought it. They were already saying, "Hey, we're going to be remaking Star Wars," and they were mentioning that to the company when I was working there. And everyone cringed at that. And so I know that they've been waiting. They're waiting patiently for that to kind of happen, sometimes impatiently. Indiana Jones will probably be completely rebooted very soon. A couple other movies are probably going to end up in that category as well, including, unfortunately, Back to the Future. And when that happens, a lot of people are going to really enjoy it, and a lot of people are going to hate it. And I'll be in the camp of people that probably are going to hate the remakes. But it's not going to stop them from coming out.
Yeah, with Back to the Future, I just imagine that they'll just get the actor from Marty McFly to play again, probably revisiting the dog's workshop and probably finding his child, going on an adventure. I'd assume they take that route.
Unfortunately, a script was leaked a couple of years ago of what that was going to potentially be, and oh my goodness, it was going to be bad. It was going to be Doc's kids, kind of taking over, and oh my goodness, it was going to be woke nonsense. We'll just put it that way. And thankfully, the movie never came about. But I remember people like panicking, like, "Hey, we're going into production for this." I wonder what ever happened to it. Actually,
I'd imagine. Yeah. They'll just say Back to the Future, and at that point, they just say what the future they want it to be, or make it the future that they want it to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the problems, is that they can project a fantasy of what a utopia would be, and then say, hey, you have to like adhere to this for us to reach a utopia. And that's one of the problems of time travel, is that they make the future always look like it's either a great experience or it's a hellhole, and they'll usually use that for propaganda one way or another. Now, it's tough because I've seen propaganda on all sides. Now, the left propaganda tends to be the more out in the open. But recently there's been some right-wing propaganda, and it's hilariously bad. I saw some of it and I was like, I agree with you guys in many ways, but this is stupid. One of the worst was what was it? The cartoon that was being done by Daily Wire, and the Toodles or kids or whatever it was. Oh my goodness, it was such a nightmare. I saw 2 episodes and I was about ready to vomit. And I was like, I agree with a lot of these things, but I hate it. I hate how you presented this.
Yeah, I did see that they were doing a movie.
Oh no.
With Merlin and such. That was live action.
Oh yeah. The Pendragon thing that Daily Wire's been wanting, a cycle that they've been stressing about for all these years. I am hoping it fails.
But yeah, with what they do in politics, it's better that they stick with like what is a woman and what was the other one that Welsh did? Oh dang, I forgot what it's called. But the other one where he goes around and exposes like DEI stuff like that.
Yeah, they have made good stuff in the past, but I got a bad feeling about this, about their films. And I was told by some folks, hey, you should go and try and work for them. And there's a couple of times in my life where I get this gut feeling like, no, I can't. There's something wrong, and I can't put my finger on it. That was one of those moments of where I was like, yeah, I can't trust what's going on. There's something amiss. And the last couple of years has basically confirmed that for me. All my fears about things kind of happening in their organization have kind of panned out. There's a lot of infighting. People that were like in good positions to make movies have been backstabbed, and films that were in the making, it suddenly got gutted, and they focus more on a propaganda piece than the art form. And of course, I don't care if you mention a value. I'm all about putting good values into your stories. I hate when you try and make it into just pure propaganda, because then the art form dies. You can mention good values, good morals. I have no problem, but do it artistically, creatively. And they just don't do it. I was really hoping one day to get to work for VeggieTales when I was growing up, and that never happened because the company got sold, and unfortunately a lot of their values changed as a result. And so then Daily Wire came along, and I thought, hey, this might be a good alternative, and I was like, nope. So now I've been putting around trying to find other ways to make things work, and could I have still made things work if I had gone to Daily Wire? Yeah, probably. But maybe not as well. Guess time will tell if I made the right decision or not, but gotta go with what you feel prompted to kind of do. And if you feel there's some problem, assume that maybe that might be the Holy Spirit trying to prompt you to say, hey, be careful.
Yeah, I guess just with YouTube and other streaming services, it gives more variety. With YouTube, anyone can start making videos that they want. And then streaming services, there you could just pump out whatever series or movies that they think will get the most attention.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of nonsense as well that's been coming out from everywhere in the film industry. So many people are kind of have kind of just had it. It seems that they're not able to make their dreams come about. They're not being allowed to work on projects they're passionate about. And so YouTube has given people a lot of great opportunities to kind of, make that stuff happen. Of course, it also makes it a lot harder because then you don't have the financial backing to actually pull some of the stuff off, which makes things like AI seem very appealing. But then, of course, all the other nonsense that happens with that. There's a guy, he was like, I can finally make my dream come about to make movies and whatnot with AI. And I almost hit my head so hard I would have given myself a concussion. Because I'm like, you idiot. If you think that you can finally live out your dream, don't you think everyone else will do that too? Why would we care about your little dreams if you're not willing to put in the work? Oh my goodness. And as I understand, people like that have not really found the success that they claim that they're going to finally get. And hopefully that stays the case.
I've thought about stuff I could do in the future, and one thing that comes to mind is I've been using this website called Bandcamp. I think you used it before for Jet's music.
Oh yeah.
Basically, anyone can put their music on, and people just buy the music, and they can keep it, download it to whatever. It's theirs now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about a website similar to that, but for animations. But the main appeal of that would be making connections. So that you can have the animator, you get the author, or just people who work on the story, and try to make it as open as possible.
That would be nice, actually.
Collaborations. There'll be collaborations. There could be if you need to, you could there could be a link to that website. I forget what its name, but it's for voice actors. So wherever you're on the website, there's people that are willing to help or to work. And if you find someone that shares the same passion, or you just like their work, probably try to collaborate with them.
Trying to find folks to collaborate with is indeed difficult at times, and so that would definitely be beneficial. Trying to find a good way to get people to come to something like that is definitely a challenge. But if you can figure that sort of stuff out, man, there would be so many people jumping on board with that.
Yeah. And try to make it as transparent as possible, because definitely there's going to be the financial part of it. People could buy their animation, their series, animations, shorts, stuff like that. And I've thought about it. If it does become popular, what if there was a part of a page in the website where it'll be like like a TV where this guy's episode's gonna premiere on this time of the day, and it'll be free, but people could chip in and donate so that so people can work on their own their own works and show it off to people.
You know, there was a site. It wasn't quite the same thing, but it was there were some similar aspects when I was just kind of getting started. This person made this website, and it was a good way to collaborate with people. And one of the things, though, that unfortunately ended it was this was something completely avoidable, by the way. It's completely avoidable by them. But they had the problem that a lot of the folks that were there were suddenly being poached by other companies. And one of the problems that occurred was being contacted by businesses that had nefarious purposes. And thankfully, I avoided it. But I have heard the nightmare stories of what other people ended up kind of doing. And one of the biggest problems that was going around... Oh, dang it. I should have used that. One of the problems that was going around was people that were in the adult entertainment sector that were poaching people through that site to try and get them to, become trapped in the industry. And some people came out years later and said, hey, this is actually what happened to me. And it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that websites like that were actually kind of leaning towards, putting people in that sort of predicament. And one guy mentioned, I want to be able to get out, but problem is that his entire reputation had been destroyed because he had been working on that stuff. So he couldn't get the good jobs because, well, unfortunately, the industry doesn't necessarily let people go in any sort of in any kindness, nor really should it, you could say. Creates a lot of problems, but it's kind of similar as if you had an actress put in for a movie, and they say, hey, what is your previous work? And she says OnlyFans. That would make a lot of companies say, okay, we got a problem here, especially depending on the subject you're going to be working on. Same sort of thing for artists. This was happening, and they were getting used for terrible things. And again, thankfully, I was spared. But I do know that there have been many people who have been trapped in the industry doing things like that. And if you have the opportunity for transparency, like you were mentioning, that solves a lot of the problems. Because one of the big issues is if you're not transparent,
I thought about was that
big problems.
One part that I thought about was if you are gonna post your works on there, first thing you see when you create an account is just these, I guess, free courses that you could go in and just talks about all the dangers, all the things you could do, warnings, ways to help. First thing they see. Plus, if I were to make that website, that would be my website, so I'd probably set the rules and say what they can and cannot do. I'd imagine just if they are going to leak their account, that account or their social accounts, and promote stuff that they put on there. Those accounts cannot have links or mention any other websites that are inappropriate.
Yeah.
Try to get it far away from that stuff.
One of the best ways to kind of go about that is just say you can't mention any websites at all, because it's amazing the number of people that will blow a gasket over that. They'll say, oh, well, you're not allowing me to post about my stuff, but you'll allow another guy to post about their stuff.
I'd imagine because it would be animations, probably just YouTube, and X would probably be the as far as it would go, because X, then they could promote other websites on there. So yeah, if people are found to have links to other websites that are no-go, then probably have definitely repercussions on my website. I don't know what type. Just probably you can't.
One of the biggest challenges is trying to figure out how to get people to the site. So like for example, I have a portfolio page on the website that I built of Castercraft. I did it because initially I was actually thinking about some of the people that were going to be working with some of the animations and trying to figure out how they could be able to promote themselves. And trying to figure out how to promote a site like that is the number one challenge, and one of the reasons why Elon Musk ended up buying X. It was because he wanted the user base to kind of streamline that whole process so he could start, so he didn't have to start from scratch. And there's other ways to do it as well. You can promote it, you can advertise it, you can pay people to join. There's a lot of different techniques that you can go about to try and build a site. Oh golly, why did I have to walk into that guy?
Definitely the first part would be people that are already on YouTube are kind of famous or well known, being on the website, promoting their work on there, because it is also kind of work if people are going to be willing to pay to download or watch their works, because I imagine you'd be able to download it and just probably have it on a playlist and just cycle through all the stuff.
Indeed. Trying to find a good balance for trying to collab with people can be exhilarating. It can also be, incredibly depressing as well when, things don't quite pan out. But trying to give people a good positive place to do that is, it can make people you can give people opportunities that a lot of businesses or a lot of organizations have kind of, cut them out of being able to do. Blacklisting in the industry is unfortunately very real. I have seen it myself. I was there for when I got to hear people say, all right, this person's blacklisted from the industry. They will not be able to work in the area ever again. And then, lo and behold, it happened. And trying to have a good, positive environment, man, there's a lot of people that want that. One of the benefits of when you're at college is that you actually have the ability to find people that are like-minded. Because once you get out of college, trying to find that gets harder and harder. And so, who knows, maybe that you'll find a group of people that you'll be able to latch on to projects together and really thrive. Because it does get harder afterwards.
Yeah. Well, if anything, I could probably just ask my family for the more business side of it. Help for that. Yeah. But with the website, I'm thinking of just having the main one first, which would be just PG. Probably no mention of drugs, or if there are going to be more, what would the word be? Just harsher stuff. It would have to fit with the story. So try to keep everything in line for the first website. And then another part was for probably one that has to be more screen, but more child for the children, so that people could be able to work on cartoons and such.
Family friendly sort of stuff.
Family friendly, definitely. Being able to tell stories or teach lessons that many kids cartoons don't say. Maybe you get a story about someone makes a story about them being bullied, but then someone else can make a story about them being the bully and how they changed. So getting many different perspectives.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was a story. It was the one of the dumbest, like low budget films I'd ever seen, called the what was it? The Butterscotch Kids, or Butterscotch something or other. And in the story, there's the good kid. The good kid ends up becoming the bad kid, and then they're trying to help him. And it was the hokiest, dumbest story I'd ever seen on film up until that point. I remember looking at the people that suggested it, saying, "Why in tarnation do you like this movie? This is the worst, dumbest thing." And that's when I realized that you have people of very different tastes in this world. And for them, that was one of their favorite movies of all time. And I couldn't stand it.
Well, yeah, that's it's kind of why I want to talk about have it be from different perspectives, because maybe a kid that does bully another kid just might need that lesson.
Indeed.
That other
Indeed.
world. And just no one's told them.
One of the things I like about your college years is that there is there's a sense of opportunity, and you start to be able to see things in a way that a lot of people in their older age have blocked from their mind, or have gotten jaded, and so thus they don't pursue things. And that's one of the reasons why innovation usually comes from the younger generation, because they can see things and they have the energy to try and pursue it, and they don't have the shackles of the mind that helps that prevents other people from being able to actually, grow and to change. Man, it is so many people that I went to school with. They have closed their minds. They don't like the idea of expanding or experimenting anymore. Dreaming seems to be like, it seems to be childish to them. It's like, why would I want to try and dream up grand business ideas? Things are the way that they are right now. They'll always be that way. I don't want to expand. It's like, that's why you're falling apart. You've given up. So that's one of the great things about college, is that you're surrounded by people that are going to have that sort of energy. And, assuming that everybody is like kind of binds together to try and achieve some of these things. What is very difficult for people to try and achieve just as one person becomes a lot more doable when you have multiple folks.
Yeah. Well, Lights offered her help. With my
Well,
with my
beware
website.
of Light. She might bonk you as well. So it's a
That's
double-edged
it.
sword, or double-edged hammer.
Yep. Oh yeah, she has a squeaky hammer ready.
Indeed.
Well, I've also thought about just if it does become popular or successful, I wonder if it'll be able to tap into other stories. Like, one idea, if it were to ever happen, collaborations with other franchises. What if
Mhm.
people would be able to make their own stories in the Star Wars universe? Be funded by the people, and it would be in collaboration with Disney and Star Wars.
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Star Wars, Indiana Jones, other franchises, Harry Potter. People now given the opportunity to expand those worlds.
Sure would be nice if that was if companies were to see that as a possibility. I can understand some stories that could become a problem, but for others that have like very large universes, not an issue.
But it doesn't have to stop with books and movies. It could be from games as well.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Have a game that's well, trying to find a way how to draw attention to it. You already have the fan base, and that's one of the best parts about it. You have a fan base that already exists. So the Lego project, when I was volunteering for that, and before everything kind of fell apart with that project, that was one of the ways that they were getting their backing, is that they had a lot of people that were fans of the original game, and they wanted to see a remake and to see things expanded upon. And unfortunately, they didn't quite lean into that the same way that they should have. They could have had a massive audience, and instead they were kind of putting around making a game that no one really cared about. It's a shame because they had so much potential.
Yeah, well, with the website, it could be with indie developers. They could be working with indie developers as well as just make cartoons or animation stories from it to better help the games, help each other.
One of the
Yeah,
there was a moment where I reached out to some folks to try and do a collab on a trying to finish an anime series that never got completed. And I reached out to the community and said, hey guys, I got an idea. This anime was actually relatively easily put together. Like it wasn't super complex. And I think we can actually make a compelling end to the story. And I presented a script, and I was then, so for suggesting that we could end the story on a positive note rather than just have it a cliffhanger that never got completed, I got banned from the that community. And I was like, what? You people, why? What was the point of that? I still don't know why they did that, other than maybe that somebody was like, hey, we could get sued from the company for suggesting this. But I'm like, this is basically a dead anime. No one's ever going to watch this. And it's for us, not necessarily for, the world. But yeah, it was so unfortunate. It's like we had the opportunity, we had the community, and then they're like, nope, we don't want to have that talk around here.
and hopefully I know this is all hypothetical, but hopefully if I ever do make that website, it does give a lot of opportunities to people that do appreciate the stories that they love.
What it sounds like is that for a website like that to really work, effectively, it sounds like what you need is a starter franchise that's willing to partner with it, to give it the connection that it needs, the material to work with. I think that's what would probably be needed to really give it the opportunity to thrive.
Yes, I'd imagine there'd be a couple of ways.
Like, let's say, for example,
such as,
Star Trek decides, we hate losing to Star Wars. Hey, fans, start creating your own sagas. That could really put it on the map in that sense.
Oh yeah, just have all the Star Trek nerds.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not a fan of Star Trek to begin with, but I could see that giving life to a franchise that's been struggling really since it began, in my personal opinion. I mean, sure, yes, there are people that are fans of it. I'm not discounting that. But it's not anywhere near as successful as Star Wars has been.
Yeah, just the people just say, "Oh yeah, I'm just not a Star Wars fan. I'm more of a Trekkie." It's stuff like
Mhm.
that. People like that.
Trying to find the franchise that would favor that. It would be it's tough because a lot of companies realize that's where all the money is, and right now they're on kind of a buying spree. They want to buy up all the franchises that they can to prevent people from, being able to do anything, especially with AI now. Disney recently shut down an AI tool that was being used for Star Wars content. I'm not surprised. The moment they published that Star Wars stuff, I was like, okay, Disney's going to come for them in full force. And lo and behold, they did.
Well, if I were to make the website, I guess I have to train my will to not say, okay, I'll sell for $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Pennies. Gotta keep in mind, this is for people that do want to work on their hobbies. Well, the hobbies is first. I don't know about it being a whole profession. Someone's job.
One of the things I will definitely say,
That'd be kind of
from my own personal experiences, it is good to dream and to start planning out ways to make that dream a reality. I remember when I was just getting out of college, I had someone give me some very discouraging comments when I was first trying to get off the ground, to the point of where I just bottled up and I didn't pursue any of the I didn't invest heavy into trying to make my early company idea, and I just gave up. Well, I didn't give up. I delayed it. I kind of wish I could go back and actually give it another try, to actually say, okay, no, I'm going to try and make this happen regardless. And lo and behold, it turns out other people had done that, and they ended up incredibly successful. And I did not. And it all came down to the fact that there were some people that discouraged me from pursuing it. And you can say, oh, well, it only falls on yourself. And there's truth in that. But you can also discourage people and prevent them from taking courage when they need to. So, when you have an idea, Bastion, be sure to try and find some folks that share that same vision and give it a shot. Don't sell everything to try and make it happen. You might end up horribly broke, and especially in this current economy, that could be a big burden on your family. But still, never stop pursuing it.
I'm mostly broke right now, so.
Yep, I know the feeling. There was one time when I actually had to beg for a meal. Well, I didn't have to beg. It was more like I realized I couldn't pay for food. And I actually had someone come up and was like, do you have any money left? And I looked at him and I was like, apparently not. I'm barely all broke. I didn't realize how broke I was. The rent had come in at the wrong time. And so it ended up taking away everything in the bank, and I still was in the negative. And so then suddenly there I was in debt and having to accept handouts for food. That's how I remember it in that sense. But it is sobering to be in that sort of place, and then to realize there are people that have all the money and they can invest in their dreams and their projects like no tomorrow. And then they'll say, oh, I I was a genius, like Elon Musk. He likes to say that he's just a genius. He was a self-made guy, and in some ways that's true, but he had a massive fortune to begin with. His family was rich, and so they had a foundation. So was it all himself? No, a lot of it was generational. If you don't have that generational wealth to build up, you have to build up slowly, and you have to collaborate with people as best as you can, because the big dogs won't let you in. And I can definitely say that beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's a lot of people that are gatekeepers. And the thing is that you have to make sure that you don't let them break you, that you don't let them discourage you. You have to keep pursuing, but you have to pursue it wisely, so that way you can overcome their shenanigans.
Well, I deal with light shenanigans, so hopefully it's as bad.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I definitely have to start somewhere, and I think the YouTube channel that I have might be a good starting off place.
Do so very cautiously. Right now, the industry on YouTube is crashing hard. You probably are quite familiar with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a guy that I know from college days. And it turns out that he's trying to get into streaming, for example, and he's having a hard time because he's getting into it really late. I got into it late, and this guy, he's having as hard of a time, if not worse. And he invested heavy into it. He invested all the money into it. I invested mostly time. The amount of money I've invested into streaming is relatively minuscule. Man hours, though, I've invested a lot of man hours into the development of stuff. But I didn't have to go break the bank to make it happen. This guy did, unfortunately. So, trying to use some wisdom in that makes a world of difference. Thankfully, though, you are quite familiar with a lot of different folks that have been in the industry over the years, and so you have a good foundation for that.
Yep, I'm very thankful and fortunate for that.
Almost got this character updated. So once we have this character kind of finished, then we're going to be swapping him out with the current players, so that way, you know, it's stylized a little bit. Sure, it's just the coloration, nothing too fancy, but it's a start. Okay, so export this sprite. And player 4. Save. And save that project. Okay, come over here. And player 3. I'm going to swap that with player 4. There. Perfect. Alien destroyed. Oh, come on. Alien destroyed. I'm not working on the movement because last night I spent a whole lot of time trying to work on the movement and couldn't figure it out, and now I'm having more problems with it. So we'll figure that part out. I'll figure that part off stream. I spent a lot of time doing coding over the last couple of years, and first time I've really done hardcore work in JavaScript. I spent most of my time in PHP, CSS, and PHP by default comes with HTML. SQL code as well. And so JavaScript was like the last on my list because it was the most complex. And lo and behold, it is indeed complex, but you know, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. This first one, we're just going to be having the lightning being done. Question is, should I make a little rod come out? Nah, we'll just say that person's using something you just can't see. Or say it's the flashlight's also doing it. Bastion, when you are, do you have any sort of community of folks that you have been able to tinker with on projects yet, or is that something that your college doesn't really have?
I just haven't really found any clubs with people yet. I've just done some English classes, political class, so I probably won't be able to find that many people there. There's a family class, but there was only me and one other guy. The rest were all women. So there weren't too many people that I could really talk about that stuff. My ideas. Hopefully my electrical class, but they probably have other stuff to do.
Trying to find a good opportunity to collaborate can be well, it can be a good test of friendships. One project that I got to work on had it where everyone got together. We were in a brainstorming session, and then we found out one person wanted their idea to be the one that we all went with so badly, and then the moment that we went with another guy's idea, that person just said, "Fine, frick all this," and they stormed out of the room. Never worked with that person again. So yeah, good test of character. And then the people that do work together well with you, suddenly they become best friends.
Oh, hopefully Light doesn't do the same thing.
Wait, you think Light's going to come in and say, frick all this, and then throw a tantrum and storm out? Oh, no.
I don't think I can say this on a public stream. So I'll just say no.
The violence of the hammer has to be feared.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, need a computer. Let's see. Let's change this dimension here. Width of 80 and then height of 40. Give this a shot. There's a fun project that I got to work on when I was just getting out of college. It was an animation, and I thought for certain I was going to be able to get a job as a result of the project. And not necessarily a job in Hollywood or something like that, but I thought at least something so I can get started. And then absolutely nothing came from it. And I always found that a little frustrating. It's like, but I put all the time and effort into it. I kind of deserve to get a shot. And it never happened. That was a hard lesson, that you can put time and effort into something and then it not pan out. But you do learn from that. Sometimes things are sometimes things are destined to pan out. Sometimes they're not. But there was one guy that I got to meet who thought for certain that he deserved a 6-figure salary. He put in the time. He put in the effort. I deserve that much of a salary. And I looked at him and said, how much do you think I make? And this was relatively recently, so it's the job that I'm currently in. I looked at him and was like, how much do you think I make? He said, obviously, like, maybe 6 figures. It's like, not even close. And he was like, but wait, but I put all this money into my college. Because he put a whole lot of money into his college. I've been traveling all over the place. I've been making investments. And I need 6 figures to be able to come out even. And I was like, good luck. All of us are kind of trying to fight for that, and we can't find it. And that was a sobering moment for him. I don't know what came of the guy. I know that it spooked him. He didn't realize just how difficult it is. I think it's a good thing to kind of observe what happens to peers as they leave college. I was about ready to go to Hollywood, or at least try and find a way to get to Hollywood. And then someone I knew at college went to Hollywood and he lost everything. And it made everyone wake up. We were like, whoa, industry's dead. And so we pivoted hard. A lot of people got out of the industry. I stayed in, but I wanted to, it's because I felt compelled. I was like, I want very desperately to tell a compelling story. And so I've stayed in, but other people were like, nope. It just got too real, it got too dangerous, you could say, financially, to stick with this. Because a lot of them still wanted to have families, they wanted to be able to have a chance to go on vacations, things like that. And a lot of people in the industry were suddenly broke. And it was, it's been very hard for a lot of folks to try and overcome this financial hurdle of the industry. Jobs were going overseas en masse, and the jobs that did exist were all going to Canada. And Canada, lo and behold, already had their own animation industry, and they didn't need Americans. So, I went into advertising, something I didn't really want to do. And thankfully, that didn't last for too terribly long, but it did last long enough for me to realize, you know what, I never want to do advertising again. Or if I do, it'll be very limited, and it's only going to be for businesses that I believe in. Well, unfortunately, the industry has still not recovered, and it's only gotten worse. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot of people that want to go into an industry, and it's just not going to pan out. It can be discouraging, but it's not the end of the world. Though it can feel like it at times. Like, I invested all this time and effort. I deserve to finally get success. I invested probably 1,000 hours into making a website, and it didn't really do anything. Doesn't mean it was wasted. No. It actually has helped out for my career. Changed a lot of my skill sets, and now it's a lot more plausible to try and pull off some really fancy, neat things, including the tinkering on a stupid game like this. But it became plausible. Whereas back when I was getting out of college, it's like I never could have dreamed of actually trying to pull something like this off. It's now plausible, but it came at the expense of losing opportunities. Sometimes just having a little patience can make a world of difference. Having a little bit of being able to look at your circumstances and say, you know what, Lord, I don't know why things are panning out the way that they are, but you know, you plan this stuff out beforehand. There is a reason for why it is happening, and to be accepting of it. I wonder if that's what sort of computer I want to have for this. Dithering tool. Yeah, this is the tool we want. Now what happens if I do this? Kind of helps a little bit with the tones. I'm not very good when it comes to pixel art, but trying to use some of the skills that I learned from watching Bizmaster. He has a lot of interesting techniques that I tried to pick up on. I'm definitely nowhere close to his skills. And now we want to have the half moon in here. Make moon skull. Yeah, it's good enough right there. Now add some shading to this computer terminal. Life lessons are hard to experience, especially when you feel like the world has suddenly opened up, and then suddenly the door slams, and you think, wait a minute. But the opportunities, but the chance for success, and it's all gone. When I was at Little Caesars, there was a manager that we had there. He was not there for very long. I think he figured out how bad the job was, and he jumped ship very quickly. But he was forced to take it because he was waiting for his job to open up and their next position, and he was running out of cash, and his bank basically threatened him, and so he had to quick go out and get work or lose his house. So he didn't have much of a choice in the matter. So this guy showed up, and he was a good fella, honestly. He worked hard, he was smart, and one day he told us he was a Microsoft engineer. He wasn't necessarily a top tier coder, but he was definitely high up in the company. He got let go, and he could not find anything in time before his home was going to be repossessed, and so he came and worked at Little Caesars. And then eventually he got another job. I think it's like, I'm pretty sure it was still in coding, but he ended up leaving shortly thereafter. But for a time, imagine what it must have been like to be him. He's like, he had a position, he had a dream, he had opportunity, and now suddenly he's working at a pizza joint. A very bad pizza joint as well. He was not young. He was middle-aged. And later on in his middle age, I think he was in his 40s at the time. But he was in a tough bind. His dreams melting before his eyes. You know what was interesting? He was not discouraged when he was at work. Oh, sure, he might have been discouraged when he was at home, but when he was at work, he was not discouraged. He was actually engaging, he was sharp, he did his job well, and eventually he ended up getting another job, and he moved on. He found success. But for a time, he felt like he was a failure. He was in a tough spot. I wonder what it was like to be him. It must have been soul-crushing. A lot of people these days are experiencing something similar. And it's not necessarily bad to be brought low. The bad thing is if you allow it to consume you, to tear you apart, to break you, and then to turn around and try and break someone else in your bitterness. That's where things really get bad. But to be broken's not awful. Trying to help encourage each other. That is so important. A lot of people want to be on the receiving end. We want to be the hero. We want to be the commander. We want to feel like our life has meaning and importance. A great many of us will not feel that. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We still have purpose. We still have meaning. And we have to encourage each other when we start to get discouraged. because otherwise we can end up becoming embittered, and that doesn't help anybody. Being able to help give people hope. That is a skill that people don't want to necessarily say that they have, but whew, it transforms people. Imagine going along and finding out that, realizing that you don't have what it takes to fulfill your dream job. Some people might say, well, you should have tried harder, and that can get discouraging. It's like, well, I did try hard. But as the person who comes along and says, you know what, I still believe that you have purpose, and this is problematic right now. Yes, I understand it hurts. I would like to help you get back on your feet. That sort of person has transformed that person's life in so many ways. And they will remember it for years and years, and they will praise that person's name constantly because they believed in them when everyone else was ready to just cast them aside. Remember that you too, out there in the internet world, have that ability to help others, to help be an encouragement to them, especially when things feel like they are not panning out. Okay, we have our computer. And now we're ready to add it into the scene. This right here is going to be a drink. So maybe we'll put some sort of fake brand on here. Let's just have it maybe an orange stripe. That will be our drink brand. Because, you know, it's pixelated and it's really hard to be able to tell what it is. After we get this done, we'll start to wrap things up.
Alright. Good night. I'm gonna go get some rest.
All right, rest well, Bastion. Thanks for stopping by and joining in. The duck, folks. All right. What am I going to do with this? Now, I want to add in a little bit of text. Yeah, no, I'll just put this out there, and then we'll maybe edit it later on. We want computer. So let's change one of these terminals to a computer. We want number one. Where is it? Here we go. Width is going to be ×2. There we go. We have our computer. Oh, it actually looks a lot better than I thought it would. Alien. Zap. Okay, so we changed a couple things. We updated the clothing. We added in a PC terminal, and it looks a lot better than this other computer. But this one's going to be the actual computer, and those are going to be just, card slots. Because once you use a card slot on it, an image will pop up or something. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up at this point. Thanks, folks, for coming by and spending any time here, and hopefully you found something of merit. This is the busiest stream we've had in a long time. Very long time. Much appreciated to you folks for stopping by. Have a very pleasant Christmas, everybody. Be civil to one another, especially on this holiday. Show mercy to people. Show kindness. Even to those relatives, maybe, that drive you crazy. Things like that. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. Have a very pleasant evening and morning, everybody. Be civil to one another. And we will see you next time, whenever that is. Until then, folks, have a very pleasant Christmas.